Diddly-o, diddle up and down, diddly-o, diddle up and down, diddly-o, diddle up and down, diddly-o, diddle lay down, diddly-o, diddle up and down, diddly-o, diddle up and down, diddly-o.
All right, hopefully this is recording. I think I may have stumbled upon a way that no one else has really tried to get some vanilla flavor into their beer. I had an idea a while ago of doing a grocery store beer, so I started wandering around a local bulk store where you buy spices, like pretty well teas, anything like that. I'm sure you have different names for it. But here in Canada, we have a place called Bulk Barn. Wandering down an aisle, I found this little baggie of, or not a little baggie, little bin full of wonderfully smelling sugar called vanilla sugar. And I did some reading. I think it's actually made from vanilla beans, but if I'm to be corrected, I'm to be corrected. My plan when I set out on this was to do a split batch of beer and I won't go too much into the beers because this is about the vanilla edition, just to bring out marshmallow flavor. So vanilla is what I wanted, and I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money on vanilla beans, so I tried this wonderful vanilla sugar. Addition was very easy and simple for what I did for this. Basically, I'm not a kegger yet, so all I did was measure out the amount I would use for my priming sugar, and that's basically all I did extra. My beer in particular, for regards to this, so for regards to my tasting notes for what comes up after, basically I added some lactose and marshmallows, so those two things are at play. There's already a little bit of vanilla flavor in the marshmallows, but for regards of the vanilla sugar, the smell of this stuff took over my kitchen when I brought it into the house. My batch was only 12 liters, and I ended up using 90 grams of the vanilla sugar as my priming agent for regards to the bottles, and just in doing that, ended up with this. You get a nice mellow amount on the nose. It's not overpowering. The baggie was very potent in the smell. And what I added it to was a mild recipe that I had. But if you have any ideas for vanilla, you can play around with the idea. Okay, I got some malted grains in there. Roasted grains in there, obviously. And this is my mild, so it's really a light body beer, even though it doesn't look like it. So here we go. I think it's the lactose that helps out with regards of the way I did this. For any who don't know, you add lactose to a recipe to just add some sweetness to something that may have ended up dry. Your yeast won't actually turn your lactose into any alcohol, so it just added a sweetness left in the background. But for regards to this, I'm really impressed. I might even try adding it to the boil of a recipe at one point, but I wanted to just see how the subtleness might come across using a lower amount. I don't know if adding it at the priming stage maybe allowed it to stay, because it is there really on the back of the palate. But if you had to add so much to the boil and let it ferment out, I don't know exactly how it would work, but I think we have a new avenue of adding vanilla, guys. This is very, very nice. Anyway, shout out to Dildo Brewery. I will be visiting you this evening. And, well, happy brewing, guys. If you have any questions, post it below. As I said, I found this particular agent just in a local little bulk store where you can buy spices and whatnot. So be on the lookout. It may work for you. Have some fun. All right. Later.